Hi, Kelly with an I. If you want to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. Here's your Inkblot made in your name and essence. If you want to take a screenshot so you can scry in your own time and terms for shapes or symbols that speak to your psyche and psychic senses. Kelly with an I, thank you for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. Completely grateful. We'll add on Tarot and Oracle along the way, as well as the spirit box, and we'll add a smudge near the end. Just to kind of cleanse the palette. But full disclosure. So in the pre-shuffle, some cards came out while I was gazing upon your Inkblot. And we had here Crown and Anchor, as well Dove and Bride. Choose New Direction. Signs and Observation. All right, so I'll kind of let those sit with you for a second while I cleanse the palette of perception. You're welcome to join me, taking a deep breath, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. All right. So when I came into your Inkblot when it was first born, when your blot was first born, and it's, wet ink, so I try not to touch it. But I do gaze upon it. And the first thing I noticed prior to your pre-shuffle here is what looked like to me your head and this placement of a crown on top. And I had felt it, and it came up from like all this. I don't know if it'll come through. Like, see all that spirit up there? All the white. And I was like, oh, I can see like a crown being placed upon one's head. And when I come into the anchor and the crown, it's ironic because I was like, oh, there it is, success and pride being up here, and the anchor like the root chakra. And it made me feel really, really balanced in that space. Stability, security, success, and pride. And then the bride came up along with the dove. So whether or not you are the mother of the bride, you yourself are a bride, or there's some sort of engagement in a new direction, I feel like a commitment has been made or contemplated, or is being contemplated. Yes. But the dove brings me into like that peaceful spirit space that there's like been guidance, and I'm still up there in the crown space. Like there's all these doves that have been floating messages in for you to receive lightly in choosing a new direction. And whatever that may be, it could even just be perception. Like I've always looked at something this way, and suddenly I'm like, oh, maybe I read something, talked to somebody, or maybe there was just like an inspiration amongst life, and I'm like, oh, now I kind of can view it a little differently. And that new direction like broadens. Because in your Inkblot, there's like this lateral line. And I could absolutely, and then I have north, south, new direction, with like a slight shift of perspective, right? Like the whole compass, there's a grid, something about 4 as well as standing out, and signs and observation, they have been coming through to you. And I feel like you've noticed that. And I feel like they come through in different shades of spirit. And I don't necessarily know what that means because I've never said that before. Different shades of spirit. Elementals, energies, and entities of the realms around you, whether it's actual animals or different creatures, fairies, this, that, or the other. We'll add on the spirit box. We are here for Kelly with an I. Should you have any inspirations or shout outs, you are welcome to. Okay, so I'm going to get in here. I feel like I'm being doted upon.
Danger.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if that's actually as loud. So when I was saying being doted upon and dangerous, like maybe this is something that's not necessarily my comfort zone. But I feel as though there's lots of different animals, energies, or entities that kind of want my attention, but there's something that makes me feel really, really proud of my presence. So this is a really interesting exploration here, and I'm going to just keep going, holding the space for nonsense and sense, and may it inspire accordingly. Receive or release. So I have all these, and I don't mean all of these Like I'm seeing, I don't know if it's like a pig, a horse, or a dog and a goat. Like there's different animal forms and they come to me. So maybe just animals in general. And they protect me from different things that it's like they kind of do the running of danger. They run off any danger. Because I feel like there's also like this solar space around you. Like your light, yes, your auric light is bright enough that other energies, entities, people, this, that, or the other, it's not my concern to try and name them or predict their placements. It's so it is what it is. And I don't know if they try and dim it or something along that lines. Like we all get it, right? Like those vamps that are out there. But these animals and energy entities, and when I say that, it could be like fairies, trees, like I'm seeing in some sort of whatnot, there's a walking of trees. Like the trees pick up and start walking or something like that. There might be some protecting you from some sort of dis-ease or disease if you're working around that, and there's like peace coming into this to help. Like when I was talking about like the vampiric energy, kind of dim your light. Maybe there's something going on where this dis-ease is dimming your light right now. But these elemental energies are really trying to help you. Could be like in your bone system or like rib cage, because I'm seeing like 3 points right along there. And it's almost like I feel like you might be sitting in a space and it's among earthly energy. So maybe nature of some sort. And as I sit and breathe in, okay, thank you. So there's that root, that anchor, and there might be some sort of like shamanic soul retrieving, or maybe this is what you do. Maybe this is that new direction you've taken, like as above and now so below, or so below, bring it as above. Bring what was learned in the depths of healing and feeling, embody them into the surface. If they're not integrated, then they're kind of wasted. And then same thing, if you've been doing as above work, you're bringing that benefit to the below. Yeah, because like there's a being here and there's a being here, and this is your lateral line, or that I'm sensing as your lateral line of like life on earth, like the lateral line of living, lateral time. But it has I don't think it's in this one. Is it it's, I don't know if it's like a belt or something.
We're here.
Something that hangs, and it has again at least 3 points on it, maybe up to 6 if it's doubled. I'm not sure. It's like a brown belt with like copper buttons or something like that. Could even be a tool. Oh, it's funny. So funny. Choose a new direction. If I choose a new direction, it looks like a tree. I think there really might be a tree, or trees up, but tree that helps you. And now I can see. Okay, I'm seeing what I think is a bull. Bull or a ram, something along that lines. But it's interesting. It has like a puffy bottom. It's a very interesting hybrid animal, like a bull, a ram, a caterpillar. Like it's crazy. Okay, so I'm seeing when I wander in this direction, and I will share it with you in case you can see it. Will the lighting let it come through? There it is. Okay, and then that. Something about like throwing stones. And there's like this light green bird that I'm going to say is like a light green piece of my heart. I don't know if somebody has tried to, or maybe you're just simply very, very aware through the signs and observation that people might project innocently or not, throw stones or have thrown stones at you before. It could even be a past life, actually. We're here for Kelli. Past life happening, obviously, in the present. But for simplicity's sake, I'll say past life.
Cheating.
So, Lady of Song. And underneath the Prince of Shadows, a nameless card, and the question. If this is in regards to some sort of relationship, romantic or platonic, or possibly family, like if it's bright, if you're like, I don't know if I want to embrace the engagement, this, that, or the other. I just feel like that question's very, very clear. That question is clear. If this is in regards to, maybe a daughter or a niece or somebody you really care about, or a friend, maybe it's just not really clear. It's like there's this sternness coming through of, I don't know about you. That's what it makes me feel like. And when I plop in here in that throwing stones, I want to plop in that the Prince of Shadows. And I'll let that mean whatever it may mean to you. Interesting. It's almost like talk to the trees about it. Talk to the trees. The Lady of Song. Do you sing? Do you know what it makes me feel like? I don't know if I see you walking. And like if trees were like blowing in the wind, or gravel was moving around, like it reminds me of my driveway, like when someone drives over the gravel, like that sound, like immediately slows people down, right? Gravel typically, respectfully, it slows people down. But that sound has such a soothing sound. I don't know if it's your auric energy amongst a particular environment is like music, like a song, and or vice versa. Like you tune in. It's almost like when I can see you walking, you become the bow on the violin. Like your step left, right, left, right, left, right. And then vice versa. Like the elements may support you. If you are going through any sort of pain, maybe you got to walk it out, contemplate. Maybe something about knees too. I'm not sure. But there's some sort of like shamanic healing going on, inner journey healing. Deep stuff. Well, I shouldn't say, I don't actually know in what, like which way, but you're aware of it. I feel like you're aware of it through the signs and observation. Okay. So I just heard we're going to smudge right now. So if you want to take a moment, and Kelli with an eye, close the eyes wherever you are, and for whatever reason, we're going to listen to it coming in right now. It's not for us to make sense of everything. Absolutely not. Okay. Just close the eyes. There's nothing to see, or you can come back and visit this, but I'm just simply smudging and smooshing the sage love, directing from my heart to the energy and aura of Kelli with an eye, who is open to receive and perceive, to cleanse any shadows that do not serve, but as she does perhaps shadow work of one's own self, to bring it to the surface and exude ease and effortlessness in embodying the energy and the information one has attained. Wandering through the environment. In Kelli's direct space of her physical body, energy form, and moving around like a compass. Yes, this compass. That's how you feel like, a moving compass. We're going to cleanse all the directions of that. And then moving up from the physical body and the aura, we're going to move all the way out into your home or dwelling, wherever you may reside. Or depending if you're even choosing to make a new place to reside in, to move. Should I stay or should I go? And then wandering out to the nature beyond. The nature that exists to support, to add the ambiance and energy to support Kelli with an I. Okay, so we have listened. Thank you so much, Kelli with an I, for that. All right, let's continue on. I'm seeing somewhere down here at the bottom, like this, where on the as above the crown was being put on, and then when I'm like down below, I'm seeing this. So I don't know if there was something very earthly that did go on that kind of, but oh, that's interesting. I just heard, and that's what we partially just smudged out. We created a place for it amongst your compass, and dispelling that out. I feel like there might have been some sort of complication about something. I don't know if it's in the knees, ankles, or feet. But remember when I was talking about somebody throwing stones? I don't know if somebody's done spell work on you. Past life or present. Past life being present, and also in the present incarnation in which you're embodying. But when I tune into you in this holy, like I feel like some people might really bask, hopefully,
it's bright,
including yourself. Yeah, it's bright. You are, like, I feel like I can just bask in you. Like, you know what I can imagine, Kelli? Like, we could be, like, you just feel very familiar. Like, we could be sitting on a deck or sitting in the grass and lawn chairs and just sitting there, just basking in the beauty of the gray day, the sunny day, the background of animals running around, and I don't know, and feeling watched over and protected, but knowing like the work to do that sometimes means sitting and taking it in, resting. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we're friends. I feel like we're old friends. I don't know. You feel very familiar to me. You feel very familiar to me. Okay, Kelli with an I. And then I will also flip it because I realize I've been rambling on. We're here for Kelli with an I. What is that rumbling? Okay, so you two flipped over. I will receive you. Thank you. On the bottom, we have justice. So if there is anything in regards to that stability, moving, romantic relationship or whatnot, even the engagement, it's interesting. It's not my place to really try and figure it out. Like, is this engagement of where I'm going to reside, or a relationship? Is it even mine? Is it somebody else's? And if it's somebody else's and I'm feeling protective over it, I'm like, is this a new beginning? I don't know. Maybe it's for me. Do I have a question? Like, is this what I want? Anyway. I obviously don't know the answer, but I feel like there's just a lot of things around me that I think about. And I'll be honest, I'm like, do I really need to think about all these things? I'm not sure. I'm going to go with it because it's like racking my brain.
I'm confused.
Yeah. Like it's almost like sometimes my compassion can create confusion. Does that make sense? I feel like it makes sense to me. So I have flipped it, but we're going to take a look at these cards as well. So the Ace of Cups did come in the reverse when, and I only listened to that when it needs to, when it was in regards to the question. So I'm not really sure if this is new beginning or not. I have the Chariot, Queen of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles. I feel like you will follow that answer if there's any inspiration, because the answer is not there, it's the inspiration. There's a sunflower in there. It's standing out to me, the lioness and the chariot. Like, I don't know, maybe there's a gentleman caller or a female caller like moving towards you, and they want to have this Ten of Pentacles, this relationship, romantic, platonic, maybe it's business. I keep saying I'm not going to try and find it, but I keep wandering down it, and I'm very aware of this. Also indicative of kind of how it feels like down there. Like, don't worry about it. Stop thinking about all these things. Like, enjoy. Can I sit and breathe and be? Is it harmonious? I'm not afraid of someone's shadow, but does it bring light also to my life? You know what I'm saying? But your 10 of Pentacles is there. And I do see it, and there's that dog in there as well. Because whatever this is coming in towards you, whatever this decision is of both dark and light. And of course we all are, and maybe that's just something to look at in its totality. Unseen and unhidden is the King of Swords. Interesting. Maybe this wasn't... Were you divorced before? Is that why you're so protective? Is this divorce or maybe a widow? So I feel like maybe this is why it matters so much. Even if it's in regards to somebody else, because you have maybe a particular experience or whatever you did for a profession. You see this all the time. Like I hear, in certain people or in certain industries, like I see this all the time. Okay, but I'm going to move on. This just happens to be what's around your aura. But of course, by all means, please follow. If you are seeing the symbols differently, like follow that versus my yam rings. If I do feel like there was a justice coming, if not already here, if there was any sort of lying, cheating, stealing, and that's why this whole question, like, do I take you back? Do I keep going? Because it caused you a 5 of Cups, and you're like, Empress. Yeah. Okay, I'm carrying on. Let's move on around. Kelli with a nice aura. Spirit of wisdom is on the bottom. I feel like you know. Whatever this decision is, whatever this question is. Okay. I think I'm seeing some sort of fish. And I'm just hearing that song, Spirit in the Sky. But I'm seeing it like fish. And something about the color gray. Red. Okay, or the color red. But there is that rust red. Yeah, is that like that vampire? I don't know if there's like a vitamin or something, like a vibrancy of... Oh, yeah. Sticks and stones type thing. Your eyes are like antennas. Yeah. Your eyes are like antennas. There's that rust red. Hunter, does it come through? Hunter of Death. And look how, okay. So that was a random stop, but whatever, I'm listening. So this is where I'm seeing like that rust red and the eyes. And then this card came in, and I want to plop that right in there. Okay. So I don't know if there's been a passing and it's a widow. I don't know what's going on. Or you simply want a decision to be laid to rest, like, or a breakup, a disappointment, something. I don't know. Whatever channel that's in. I feel like I want something to be laid to rest because I want life. I want life, and I want joy, and I want hope. Those are the things. Those are the things I want to follow. Those are the things I want to follow. I just got really like super duper 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 chilly. Okay. Well, that's just going to fall down. So my efforts were futile. I have my hands on my hips. Everyone sees this. This is how I'm seeing it. Everyone sees this, but really I'm doing this. But it's almost like, like if you didn't see me, you'd be like, maybe you might be like a tough love kind of person, or maybe you're really hard on yourself.
Why am I here?
But really, it's this, what I'm feeling. It's like, Eyes are antennas. Eyes are antennas. I'm seeing monshishis. Do 2 of them. I don't know if you have children. Could even, okay, gifts from when you were a child. Like, it makes me feel like you got crone energy going on. I don't know if your inner child is alive and well or is healing, this, that, or the other. Ancestor of protection is on the bottom. Hunter of gifts, hunter of conflict, and hunter of mysteries. Look at all of this rust red. This is that shaman spine, the shaman oracle. I'm in the shaman spine. Give me 2 moments here. I think you might be... There's that conflict about the question. Conflict about the question. Is this within oneself? Or is this with a partner or possibility? You know what? Again, Stephanie, stop trying to figure it out. I'm seeing a screw. But this screw has, you know, when you're screwing something into the wall and it needs to be mounted, so you put in that plug. I'm seeing it with that.
Talk to me.
So I want something to be strong if I'm going to put the effort in to hang it, to choose its place. And this is a very symbolic story that I'm sensing. It's not actually about where I'm going to hang the picture, at least how I'm feeling it. It's about when I'm going to choose the placement, or like I carefully place things, people, places, or things around me with strength. But I feel like there's something I'm undoing. Like maybe I had bolted something in really, really well, and now it's a little bit of a, I don't want to say fight, but it's a little bit of an internal thing to go like, what happens if we, do that? It's a mystery. Okay, so what I'm sensing is through this whole shaman line, I don't know if you come from a line of shamans. That being an inspirational word, it doesn't actually have to, not in some sort of religious or cultural context. Inner journey, inner work, shadow work. Maybe you're just heavily into shadow work right now. Of the spine. I feel like, oh, that's a rabbit. Is it like a hookah or something? Now I'm also seeing like, this is like what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know if you can look at trees or some sort of background and you can see it. Like you can scry, you can see the clouds take form and you see the symbols. You see the observing of these oracle messages all around you. Because I'm now seeing like, I don't know what they are. They're not snakes. That's not how I'm seeing them. Compass. Oh my goodness. Like we have had compass come through your reading the whole time. Beautiful. Oh, wishing well. You are being wished well. And any sort of wellness. But I dare say, if there's some sort of something around you with a question, as much as I'm like lured with the 10 of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups, I do feel like you're going to be wishing something well. And taking a new direction. Because when I wander into this compass, the coloring being again of this very specific rust red. Now, rust not indicating, old, rickety, rusty. It's this very specific shade of red that is wise. It's bringing me into like elder kind of stuff. And then the yellow, because again, you're so bright and shiny. through some tough love is what I feel like. Like you can be sharp, but I feel like your eyes are like even sharper. Like if you were to look at me a certain way, I'd be like, I was like, oh, she means business. Like I would know by your eyes. Like your eyes communicate very clearly. Anyway, look at that compass coloring right up there. Yes. Okay. 50 might mean something to you. I don't know if this is an age, just simply a year span, or when this shift happened, a shift happened. I just heard I struck oil, or is it oil or gold? I don't know. Okay. We're getting ready to at least start the journey of closing out here for Kelli with an I. If there's any other messages you'd like to have come through, and I'm going to see. I feel like I have lots of dogs. Dog energy. Oh, there's that snake. Yeah, I see you now. I see you now. And what is that?
Melt.
It's like I can see younger trees talking to older trees around you. Are trees people around you? Is that like how you see them? Maybe it's just something about the color green. Shades of green in the heart. Like, does it soothe me? Does it feel like it's soothing me? $32, jeweled web connectivity. There's that green again. Oh my goodness.
Attic.
Yeah, this is high up stuff, like attic, like treetops. Okay. And unmarked trail revelation in the hand, the universe is your partner. Okay. So aside from like this is what I'm talking about, like this uber dark emerald green, emerald city. Like, I don't know if you struck oil or drilled into something, if this is spiritual, physical, this, that, or the other. But these two cards, it's like, I want to put unmarked trail, like with all the greenery up there. And then the universe is in your hand. I got the whole world in my hand. And Drifter, which is funny. I was like, I'm like, I don't, even when I choose the inks for an individual Inkblot, I completely choose intuitively. Like I don't make sense of it. I say that even as I scry and I try and make sense of things, and I say I'm not. But I legitimately just like, okay. I don't know how to say, like, I don't know if they don't physically jump forward, but anyway. But there was no blue. That's not anything
Tombstone.
to say. But Drifter, life as it comes. I don't know, maybe if like you're just feeling like you're in an emotional space where you're, just kind of like feeling the flow. Oh, we're going over there. Or that's in some context. Still something about this question that kind of lurks behind me. I'm not gonna lie. I hope that makes sense. Or I have been stuck on something, and you're like the whole time, I'm like, it doesn't exist. I don't know what you're talking about. That's cool too. Maybe it's in the subconscious realm. Maybe it's in the sleep state this is happening. That like some deep work is being done, because that compass is dual. That compass has two spaces to it, subconscious, conscious, right? I'm seeing a green dragon fly towards you. I don't know if like you work with rays or chakra energy or dragons. For some reason, like I'm actually seeing you have like and I don't know if you utilize tarot and oracle cards, but I see you like with a dragon oracle. Akashic records, evaluation and review. I don't know if you're writing something or you're, oh, I just got a breeze right here. Or if it's like photo albums reflecting upon the past. Again, as above, so below, past, present, north, south, switching east, west. Silver, warrior of light. If you are doing any sort of work, subconscious, shamanic, whatever the case may be. Okay.
Rebecca.
Yeah, it's like coming up. And I don't know how to say that. Revived, or like something clicks. That drywall screw that was in comes out and just goes vroom. Like it's like going from like a screwdriver to a drill, and it just comes out. Okay. Speak up and be heard. Communication. Now I'm in like all water. Okay, that's fine. And signs from spirit with love, which you had right from the get-go in your pre-shuffle, signs and observation, and also the dove. Kelli with an eye. So remember when I was talking about those fish in the sky? Like it could be clouds or something like that. Hopefully I said that out loud and not just in my head. I'm seeing this a silverfish. I don't know if that symbol means anything to you or to anyone else. Silverfish.
Guide.
Are they guides? Is that what they are? Yeah. And that silver warrior of light, these silverfish. They're with you when you're in an environment, specifically a very earthly environment. Every journey. Okay. Dream a beautiful dream is on the bottom. We had like a purge here of cards, but I'll receive it, because sometimes that's how life throws at you. You're just like, yeah, blah, there it is. There it is. So every journey starts with a single step against the grain. I don't know if this is at some point in time how you're feeling moving against the grain, or you don't want to move against the grain. Maybe you see somebody moving against the grain. Again, I feel like you have a lot of set of eyes, so it's tough for me to determine when viewing, even curiously, like, well, what landscape as I'm seeing, I don't know. But even as maybe others, when they're looking at me, think I go against the grain of the societal structure or the norm, we'll say, and that's okay. But you're not. You're actually swimming with the flow, but others see it as against the grain because it's against their grain. And I'm seeing wood again. But emotionally, empathically, essentially, you go with the flow. You go with the flow. There's a lot of messages around you. I dare say if you're not, I'd be really surprised if you weren't like empathic or some sort of like essence energy reader or something like that. Every journey starts with a single step. Oops. I don't know. I want to put that with compass, and I probably won't be able to find it now in my... Yes. Anyway, possibly choose the direction, the question, and... No, I can't find it. But there was something about... Do you remember? Do I remember? I don't know. Wishing well. Wishing well. There it is. Wishing well. Okay. It's like people try and put their ways wrapped around you like in some sort of net. And I don't think it works very well because you're not against the grain. I feel you going with the flow. So that confuses me.
Rituals.
Is this something from like a cleansing, maybe in like a sacred pool? Like a salty sacred pool to like cleanse or clear contracts from another life? I don't know. Because I'm like, I'm not. It's someone's perception of me, but it kind of gets me wrapped up in it. Almost like it tattoos me a little bit. Anyway, okay. Defend to the end the worthwhile. Relax the hold of darkness and can be a cause. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but it's maybe you feel offended or people are offended by the way you go against their grain. And you're like, but that's clearly not my intention. And then I kind of get in like a weird little, if I may, I'll go down this rabbit hole. I hold space for you and respect the space for you to live freely and even consider that I live against your grain. But why isn't that held for me from another person's perspective? And I know I can't control this and this, that, and the other, and it's not my place. But it creates confusion. It just creates confusion because it's like an irony of, can't you see the obviousness of that in the observation by claiming such? Anyway, I don't know. Defend to the end the worthwhile. Relax the hold of darkness and be a cause. You are surrounded by so much light as and wisdom through your ancestors of protection that are there, and underneath them is purification. So there might be some sort of purifying. Maybe this is even beliefs you have about yourself, right? I don't want to necessarily project it out to other people and say da 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 da, because that's not who I am necessarily. But it could be even in a mirror and to be like, this is, you've outgrown this. Some sort of purification is absolutely going on. And again, even though this card is green, look at all that rust red. Yeah, old soul work here. Seriously, old soul. I am so getting ready to close out. And there's an owl in there that holds this middle space of like the compass. But this owl means business, business, business. If you cross through this threshold, I mean business. The word wants to be written, restore and replenish. Thank you. This is beautiful. So
warm.
It does. It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside because this is where I feel like that crown is like going all the way back to the beginning. And sometimes it's surprising when I can even remember that. But sometimes that's the best parts I can remember is like the bookends of a reading. That's that crown being placed upon you, maybe because of this purification process you've actively been doing. You've been doing the deep work and the sky work and the lateral linear living work, and you're embodying it. You're integrating it. Stabilizing something, some sort of cycle is being closed, and this just might irk some people, but restore and replenish. I want to slap this card in like right there. Take time to curl up and cuddle with all the different creatures that surround you, because they truly are of service to you. Kelli with an I. And I'm coming right down here at the bottom. I feel like things are being unplugged in a very odd way. I'm going to say I feel like I'm watching the part of the Matrix movie when he's in that potty thing, and then all the plugs start popping out of him. That's what it feels like. which is, I'm sure,
Start.
a little uncomfortable, but inevitably freeing, I believe. Okay. We have here artistic expression on the bottom. So there might be something in the word wants to be written, or it also brings me into the Akashic Records card. Probably can't find it again. That's fine. You might be reviewing the Akashic Records in the above, which also holds information below. Signs are on the surface. Signs are on the surface. Flow of prosperity and let it go. If there's anything that's been creating some sort of dis-ease in your decision making, whatever it may be, and I'm not even going to step back in the pool of trying to figure it out, but I feel like, yeah, just when you're ready, let it go. Let it go so you can. Like Kelly, I just want to give you a squinch and a hug. Choose peace. Choose peace. And everything. The flow. Be in the flow. And I know that's like such a cheesy thing to say. I be in the flow. I am in the flow. But sometimes when we're up against decisions or reflections, like going through that photo album or the Akashic Records of something, you know, like we're going with the flow, but then we, stop at this rock and, throwing stones, building stones, beaver dams, this, that, or the other. But it's kind of like the way I just saw it when I said that. I was like, say I came up against like a beaver dam or something, or, stone placement. And then as I was there reflecting, like, oh, that was such a rough time. And then I slowly, kind of take them away. And then I cruise through to the next piece of the photo album. I wish them well. I didn't like them for a long time or something happened, but I wish them well. And I'm moving on. That's how it makes me feel. Because this is all very worthwhile. Whatever crone energy you got going on, elder understanding. And if you are looking to write something or just write down, I'd say do it. Maybe it's like a scrapbook. I don't know. Or like a book of shadows. And I see like different leaves and different pieces of nature in it. Anyway, okay, Kelli with an I. Thank you so, so much for being my muse. I've rambled on way too long, but I'm so grateful for your time, attention, and awareness, and hopefully you can enjoy this reading as many times as you'd like. I'm full of gratitude. So until next time, thank you so much for your support and for stepping forward.